Sadly, not this game, but let's go into this first game so we can stop embarrassing ourselves, which we do oh so often.
That's just a normal day in life.
I actually, I just went over and tried to click a BattleRekt because I felt like I was playing. Man, I'm losing it already.
You are just not very smart, aren't you? I'm sorry.
Nope.
All right, into the game are we. And it's going to be Dream Crushers. Oh, that was good. Sorry if you just vomited in front of your screens, but we're getting settled now. It's going to be a versus Stro heading up that Jumong and Uldor against Jumong Lucy. And that's actually interesting. We don't see that too often. Oh my god, you're losing!
My. Lemur taking a lot. The in cap, he just gets out of that. I believe he got clarity potioned out of that in cap. But now Stro and Averse easily taking that first orb. They're just continuing to put that pressure on, keep them back in their own corner. We see the root come out of Averse, gonna take advantage and go down. Now just trying to separate them. You can tell he's just trying to keep Lucy away. She will go down, and that leaves Lemur all alone and dead.
Averse did so much damage at first to Lemur. I'm just gonna call him Lemur. He did so much damage to Lemur at the start, but then just almost arbitrarily just decided to go on Lucy. Lucy even had the barrier up at that time. And then Averse just swapped targets, chewed through the barrier, chewed through Mr. Pink's health, and then won the round. I can't imagine, I mean, it just seemed like dominance. There's a reason why Uldor is one of the favorite picks to assist Jumong in a matchup, and that's because he provides so much good support for Jumong in terms of just the abilities that he brings to the table. And I think it's a stark difference compared to what Lucy can offer.
How do they all already get legendaries for the people they play the most?
Maybe they dump bucks into the game.
Dump some bucks. Oh, we're going to see now 1v1 Jumong. Both in Viz, both trying to get each other. Now we're going to see a good rain of arrows. Averse going to try and dodge a damage. He uses a lot to Lemur. I'm actually going to start calling him T-Dog. Oh, Lemur taking a whole lot.
Gets hit by the right click, and then now T-Dog, as Carpet would say, is actually really, really low on health. Oh no, Stro might take him out.
Oh, he had to go in. That was actually a great placement going in. Surprising Stro, thinking he was going to run away. Tried to just have some damage. We see Rain Averse separating them. Now we're going to see Averse trying to pin Mr. Pink in the corner. They're going to stick together, though. Now we're going to see them trying to make that last push. They want to keep the away from Orb. He's going in, taking the risk, but he trusts his support to come and follow him. The Rain Averse is going to come. Lucy's going to go down. The slow motion screen.
The Chrono Flux is so much area denial for Dream Crushers. The instant Stro puts that down in front of Averse, Averse is going to be trading like crazy. There's no way either Lucy or Jumong is going to be able to get past that Chrono Flux, and just that 25 energy investment from Stro is going to pay dividends for Dream Crushers.
I always find it interesting, the difference between team comps we see from regions, North American and Europe. We really don't see any Jumongs in Europe, and we just see a whole slew of them here in North America.
Yeah, and maybe that's just because Averse is leading the charge, right? He's demonstrated time and time again that he will win tournaments with Jumong, and so maybe a lot of the other players are just trying to emulate that success and see what they can do, try their hand at Jumong. But it is very interesting to see what the differences are. And so we'll be waiting here a little bit to see what Pink Lemur is going to do to try to claw their way back into this particular map. They're already down 2 rounds, 1 more, and Averse Stro will take the first map, moving on to the second, because it is a best of 3 maps to move on. Let's see if they can make the adjustment.
Already, we're going to see good control from Dream Crushers, trying to push them out of the middle, but this time they're standing their ground. Now we're going to see Pink Lemurs try and push forward. Lemur putting a lot of damage on Averse. Stro finally turning his attention to him. Master Pink going to just try and support him, keep him there. Health pool's looking pretty similar right now, but now we see the Rain of Arrows keeping him in a tight position. The berry goes up, though, and protects him from a lot of damage.
Man, Averse just keeps winning out these trades against T. Lemur. It just seems like every time they go toe-to-toe, Averse somehow, despite the fact that Mr. Pink has given 3 barriers now to Lemur, that Averse just comes out ahead.
Mr. Pink left all alone. Averse is going to try and hunt it down. Here comes the ultimate, but instead he's actually going to go on Lemur.
Uses a black arrow to avoid the pop on the quicksand, and that's going to save Lemur a lot of health. But now Stro is getting a little bit low, but Lucy is already separated out. Has to spend the EX Prowl to try to get away. There's one black arrow, and there's a second one.
They both just get out of the Seeker's Mark. I don't understand how they did that. Now we see this orb is actually going to go again to Pink Lemur. That is 2 orbs for them, but Lucy having to run away. There comes the Rain of Arrows. They want to
watch out.
They want to take out Uldor. They know a 2v1 is a significant gain and advantage.
Man, that Incapacitate could not have come at a better time, and a verse with the Rain of Arrows is going to be able to close it out. They came really close to securing a kill onto Stro, and I thought that they were going to be in a good position because Stro had to back away, leaving a verse in a 2v1 situation against Lemur and Mr. Pink, and somehow a verse lands at Incapacitate, puts the Rain of Arrow on top of him. That buys him enough time, that buys Stro enough time to make it back to a verse and even assist in damage despite the fact that Stro was really low. And then they just turned that around so quickly, made the first kill, and then the 2v1 for Mr. Pink is not going to be very easy to surpass.
I mean, we see Stro just in general, even as a support, he puts on so much pressure. He's such a big presence. People start to play around him. They have to start treating him as if he's a big damage dealer. Man, okay, there you go. Had to clear that out. Nope, there you go.
Gross.
Sorry, I had some nondescript fast food before this, and I can't say their name because they don't sponsor us.
Not a sponsor. Please sponsor.
Not a sponsor. Please sponsor. But anyways, Stro, whenever he plays Uldur, just in general, the amount of damage he puts out, and the way he positioned himself is pretty aggressive. He tends to stand toe-to-toe with the verse as opposed to behind him. A lot of Lucy's you kind of see, they try and stay away from damage, they try and stay out of the fray. You know, they'll throw panics from behind the line, but they do a great job of healing. Whereas Stro, when he's playing Uldur, can actually put himself toe-to-toe with his own, I guess, damage dealer. I mean, I don't really know. Attack hero?
With his
Ranged.
own, with his partner. With his partner, we'll say.
His partner. There you go. His partner. We don't judge. Whatever.
Last map went so convincingly for Dream Crushers, and I think we have a moment from the last map as well that we can take a look at and kind of see how they performed. And I think that it was really all about a verse. And take a look at this Panic Flash coming out so close to Stroke come, but then the Incapacitate, he gets Seeker's Mark first, does to Lemur, but then a verse answers back, hits the Incapacitate. There it is. You see Stroke kind of assisting damage there, and look how quickly he falls. I mean, what a turnaround.
And it's just the confidence of the both of them being in the positions they need and understanding what their ally is going to do. These guys play twos constantly together. I've never seen them join a tournament not together, at least when it comes to twos. So it comes down to also the fact that he knows exactly what he's going to do. Uldur knew, or sorry, Stro knew what a verse was going to be able to handle. He knew he was going to get the Incap, he knew he was going to get the Rain of Arrows, so he can actually come kind of out of hiding even though he had probably maybe 2-3 M1s left of health.
Yeah, it's such a good move, and that's the kind of coordination that puts you over the top, right? That allows you to be a tournament winner. So, actually, interesting side note, I like that you mentioned that Averse and Stro have been sticking together in twos, but in 3v3 they actually play on completely separate teams. I'd love to hear why, but let's go ahead and take a look at the next map and see if Lemur and Mr. Pink can bring it back, or if Dream Crushers will continue their dominance.
Crushing of dreams.
Yes, the crushing of dreams.
I mean, they didn't change up team comps, which means they're pretty confident in their ability to, you know, potentially just... A lot of it comes into individual one-on-one outplaying sometimes, right? It's like, especially when we saw Lemur and Averse going toe-to-toe, there were a few times where one of them had the advantage for maybe a few moments, and then Averse would kind of take over. And maybe that comes down to Mr. Pink realizing, like, maybe we shouldn't do one-on-ones. Maybe we should make it a 2v1 as much as we can. Or maybe they're just going to pick up the pace, pay attention a little bit more, and try to take those 1v1 situations a little more handedly.
One of the things that I can think off the top of my head is Mr. Pink using the Panic Flash can really change up the positioning for Dream Crushers and put them in a bad situation, but it's just so tough to land that on Stro. I mean, he's so prepared for, and there we see trying to juke it. Versus going to spin his Black Arrow, gets panicked instead, and now the damage is coming onto him.
Oh, we're going to see Lemur now between the two. Oh, but now there's the 2v1 situation on Averse. Averse going to be able to get out of there, Stro protecting him. They do have this orb control, and they will secure the first orb of this map. We're going to see the Rain of Arrows trying to put pressure. They want to push back, but Stro actually has to back away for health, and now we see them both just kind of toe-to-toe, trying to get the poke game strong.
Oh, Averse gets hit by a mouse too, and now finally for the first time I think we see Pink Lemur in a really, really good position going into the mid-game. Stro is more healthy than both the members on Pink Lemur's side, so that might be the big difference maker here, but let's see. Full sticks of butter for Dream Crushers. How are they going to spend?
Dream Crusher's able to get the second orb. Oh, but now Lemur's going to catch himself between. He has a good material to get on the other side of that Chrono Flux. Almost an M2 landed, and now we're going to see control switch. Dream Crushers now fully in control of the middle.
Oh,
what
no!
a fantastic Chrono Flux.
Uldur is the master of range dominance in this matchup, and I think Stro demonstrated that perfectly. Oh, lands the Panic Flash. That could be key. Nice follow-up from Lemur.
Oh, but the Sands of Time almost taking them out, having to use Barrier just to protect herself from the Sands of Time. Now Stro, he does have an opportunity. He has Chrono Flux for protection. He has a lot of burst damage with his M1s and M1 EX.
Nice execution from Lemur, lands a black arrow, but misses the second one, but causes Stro to have to use mobility.
Good placement on that trap, preventing him from getting that last health orb and letting Lemur take it. Now they're going to try and trap him. Oh, he's protecting himself just a little bit. He might use his space, uses the walls and advantage.
Nice!
Perfectly placed rain of arrows, and they will take round 1 of map 1.
Really good job by Pink Lemur to close it out. It was actually a very dangerous situation. Stro had a lot of health, and both members on Pink Lemur's side were really, really low. And so in those situations, you might think, okay, 2v1 should be a pretty easy cleanup for the side of 2, but it's actually really dangerous. You mess up once, and Uldor has a lot of burst damage. Mouse 1 into Quicksand can clean either of the characters on Pink Lemur's side's clock instantly, and so I really like the discipline that they play that out. Secured center orb control, use the trap to zone Stro out, just methodically making sure that they did not take risks. I like that.
We see them meet in the middle again, both wanting to get that first orb, that first control to try and set the pace of the game. Now we're going to see a good aggressive push from Lemur. Going to try and deal some damage on Stro. Stro use it to escape, but confidently heals back up. And now we're going to see a Verse try and hunt down Mr. Pink, push him away. A well-placed rain of arrows. They're going to keep them separated now. 2 1v1 situations.
Oh.
A great petrify from Stro, letting him regain his positioning and try and follow his teammate. But Lemur comes back in time, keeps them separated. Verse trying to, oh no, Mr. Pink might be caught in a tight spot. Uses his potion, but it doesn't matter. He gets trapped. That first orb will go to Pink Lemur, though.
Oh, gets the incapacitated, and Verse might be able to do a lot of damage. He's on Black Arrow and dodges a second Panic Flash. That might be key in this matchup. 2 Panic Flashes already dodged for a Verse, and that's going to give him a good lead in this race, and now they turn around. There's still so much butter here, and Verse might choose to use the ultimate. We'll see. No, he gets a nice trap, Rain of Arrows combo, and down goes Lucy. Meanwhile, Stro still very healthy and has a lot of bar, can always use his ultimate to try. Oh!
My God, Stro. That man has a family. Well, he might, actually. I don't know his lore.
I think that particular round was a great demonstration of the little tiny things that Averse will do on Jumong that puts him above the rest. He actually used a single charge of his Black Arrow. He had three weapon charges. That's going to allow him to recast that. And he waited. He waited on that Black Arrow for so long that Mr. Pink actually tried to throw a Panic Flash right as it was running out. And it paid off because Averse was able to utilize the second weapon charge there to dodge it. And I think that just goes to show his patience. Didn't use it for damage, knew that he wanted to dodge the Black Arrow with it. And Averse wins out that race.
We see a whole lot of trading right now. Nothing too significant, but both Jumong's actually losing a significant amount of max health at this point. Both about 40 down, but a Rain of Arrows. Now they're going to try and hone down on Mr. Pink. Going to get behind Stro, let Stro have the confidence in the front. Oh, and that first orb again going to Pink Lemur.
They've been pretty good at orb control.
Capturing, yeah.
All right. Chronoflux goes down, and that's going to give Averse a little bit of an advantage, but I don't think the position was quite there. Averse had a little bit of a tough time converting. Oh, a Petrify comes out, but will be instantly broken. Oh, that's dangerous. There's no jumps. Averse is trapped here, but they didn't punish. Rain of Arrows was already spent at that point by Lemur. The orb will go to Dream Crushers this time, however.
Now we're going to see, no, what burst damage coming from Uldor. And a little bit from Jumong. Now we're going to see both of them solo, about 40 health apiece. They're going to try their best to do some damage on Lucy, getting trapped behind the Rain of Arrows. She couldn't run away. She had to get herself closer to death. And now we're going to see them both go down. Pink Lemurs falling down in round 3. Dream Crushers now 1 away from taking this series.
Just when they're standing there and shooting themselves in the neutral game, I mean when they're just trading arrows back and forth, I actually think that Pink Lemur doesn't get too far behind, but what really happens is when they get hit by Quicksand Mouse 1 combos from Stro, and then Averse capitalizes on that as well, using Mouse 2's getting snipes off onto his opponents. And then in particular in that last round, that moment where Averse was fighting Lemur, and then chose to use Rain of Arrows on Mr. Pink, and then swap targets. That little amount of pressure put them so far ahead in that duel that the situation changed dramatically from then on, and then it was all about Dream Crushers past that point.
Rain of Arrows just does such a good job of pushing people into scenarios, and now we're going to see Lucy actually stand to the whole thing, take it to the face.
Oh, the Chronoflux pushed the Panic Flash back at Lucy.
Now we're going to see Lucy try and hide away, leave her teammate alone, but he's actually doing a good job. We're going to see Lemur put some good damage on Stro. Get hunt that. There comes. Oh, here's the damage. Averse now caught alone. They're going to try and trap him. Great placement of that bear trap on Mr.
Stro
Pink.
is so far away, he can't help Averse. There's the Uldor ultimate. Will miss, actually, and Averse is so low. Stro, you need a heal. He's going to double Black Arrow away, but now the positioning is bad for Stro. And I think Lemur needs to push. Oh, wow, they will get the orb.
And right up underneath him now. Rain of Arrows forcing him to material. Going to try and hunt him down. There comes a heal. He does have Renew on him, so he's going to heal a bit more back to his max health, at least his current max health. Mr. Pink in the middle. I'm actually scared of what they can do with this. Oh, Stroh's actually going to get finally pinned down by Lemur into the corner.
Good
Deadly injection comes out. This will be the end of Verse. He sees the end of the tunnel. He sees the light. He wants to go meet poor Stro.
Pink Lemur is doing a good job of kind of readjusting themselves and then finding new footing in this match. Now 2 rounds up, and so they're going to be tied up in the second map, which is a lot closer than the first one, to give some credit to them. I think one of the things that they did beautifully in that game was not chase a Verse to the ends of the earth. They knew that they had a Verse low. They could have gone for the kill. They knew the opportunity was lost. Instead, they leveraged their health advantage to put Stro in a bad situation and then finish out the kill on him. I think that's a mistake that a lot of players make, trying to go for the player that they knew they had an opportunity to kill a little while ago, but no longer. And I think Pink Lemur made the right choice.
It is always tantalating to get a kill when you see him right in front of you, but now we're going to see a Verse try and lay that damage on Mr. Pink. He is going all in on this. He finds himself in a tight spot, but he uses his second black arrow to secure that. But now we're going to see him do everything he can to secure that, and he will. Dream Crushers get the first orb, and now Mr. Pink caught between a Chronoflux and an Verse. Not where you want to be. The rain of arrows coming down. She's getting pushed all the way back, but he turns around immediately to turn his attention to
man. And that's what you do when you want to control the positioning of your opponents. You pressure one, and then once they're split away, you turn back around and put a 2v1 onto your opponent's teammate there. And Lemur took a lot of damage for it, but that's not at the cost of, that's not just for free, right? A Verse is actually pretty low himself.
Verse has taken a good hit, but it's between the confidence in his ally. And
nice panic!
Panic! Almost giving him the kill, but that Chronoflux.
Oh!
And Jamong will go down. Lemur is down and is now up to a 2v1 situation for Mr. Pink, or they are out of this tournament.
Oh, the read was wrong on the Uldura ultimate, but Lucy will go down. So close. I think one little detail about positioning was what changed that game for Pink Lemur. They were just a little bit too clubbed. That deadly injection came out, and that was the big difference maker. Really, Chronoflux, right? Reflecting both panic flashes and deadly injections all game long, and Stro really made good use of that. And despite the fact that a Verse was so far away, Stro actually couldn't really heal a Verse in that position, but still used his EX Chronoflux and was able to gain huge benefit out of that. Fantastic play from both players on the side of Dream Crushers. Pink Lemur came really close.